Hi guys, welcome to Encounter. This is the second one in our series of How Can I Survive the World? How are you all doing? The world's gone a little bit mad at the minute. Let us know in the comments section, give us a like, we want to feel validated, please. And let's get into a game. Good throw. All we need for this, roll a toilet roll. I'm going to give you guys a bit of time to go and get a roll of toilet roll, and I'm going to bore you with facts about toilet roll. Toilet roll was invented in Tokyo by Godzilla. The average human uses about 6 squares of toilet roll every hour, and the correct way, when you've got one of them little thing, you know, like on the wall where you have to mount toilet roll so that it's just hanging, the correct way to mount it is that way. I'm going to assume that you've now got a roll of toilet roll. So this is the game. What you've got to do, you've got to flip it up. I can't even catch it. That's not even the game. You've got to flip it up and you've got to land it on like this finger of your hand. So it's got to land like that, okay? The quickest person to get 3 in a row, or just 3 in general, because in a row is well hard. 3, 2, 1, go. That was a practice. Ah! 1. That was a practice. That was a practice. Ah! 2. I'm gonna so win this. Ah! Ah! Let us know how you guys did in the comment section. You won't have beaten me. That was, quite frankly, Olympic standard. And now we've got a bonus second challenge. We found 2 unwilling volunteers who are going to start eating some super hot chilies. If you're brave enough, this is something you can also do at home. I wouldn't, but you're probably way braver than me. What we're going to do is we're going to feed our 2 volunteers chilies, which seems simple enough, and we're basically going to see who can handle the heat the best without needing a drink.
3, 2, 1, chili!
It's fine.
Not nice.
Oh, when you swallow it, that's when it hits. Oh.
How long has it been?
A while.
No, it's totally fine.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Want some milk?
Yeah.
Have the milk. There.
Oh.
Nice, yeah.
I really want to beat Connor.
My tongue's on fire.
He needs some milk.
It started off not that bad, but it's actually getting pretty bad. Yeah.
Tongue. How far? How long have I gone
goodness.
You got the milk, mate. You need the milk.
for? Never.
Why? What's it? Is it like a
Take the milk.
Take the milk.
How long have I gone for?
Too long.
Milk. Should I actually go for the milk?
endure as much as you think you can?
Endure. Like, should I stop?
It's up to you, mate.
It's up to you.
I don't need milk.
How long do you reckon Alex went for?
Just might be Alex.
It's done on me.
Drink the milk. Drink the milk.
Go big or go home.
I don't need the milk.
Go big or go home.
Are you crying, mate?
Yeah. I actually am.
Don't touch it,
I think we can declare Connor
we have a winner.
your winner.
Use the back of your fingers though.
Yes.
Now you can drink milk.
Oh.
I can drink the milk. It was just a normal day. I was meeting my new Norvengers friend. You would never guess what happened next.
following us.
Who?
The conservatories. This location's compromised. Follow me.
Are we really doing this?
I don't think they'll find us here.
Who? So what do they actually call you?
Do you want my real name or my superhero name?
Either.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. That's my name. King of Spades.
There's been another lockdown.
I knew something was up. I could felt it in my spade.
Wait, what does this mean for us stopping Doris collecting the Infinity Stones?
Oh wait! I could just give him a call.
You have Doris's number.
Yeah, we're old school buddies from Yeaton. Back in the day. Yeah, hang on.
Doris.
Shh, that's ringing.
He's our mortal enemy.
Hey, you right, boy? How's it going? Yeah, oh, hell, we knew. Lockdown.
I can be climbing trees.
Oh, just a quick question. Are you thinking about still doing the, the Infinity Stones? You aren't? No, oh no, yeah. Oh no, I think we were thinking the same thing. See you in the next episode then. Yeah, cool. Oh no, you hang up. No, you. No, you. Fancy quarantining together then?
So, if you, like me, have got no idea what it was that you just watched, head to the Norwich Youth for Christ YouTube page and you can catch up on the first episode of the Norvengers. And we've got plenty of time to catch up on it because the Norvengers will be back after lockdown finishes. So, now we're going to go into a worship song and then we've got a talk from Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge.
It's Dr. Kate Middleton.
Dr. Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge.
It's a different Kate Middleton.
A doctor called Kate Middleton. She's going to be talking to us all about mental health, which is going to be a huge subject. It's going to be brilliant. So I'm just going to pray before we go into the song. Yeah, God, I just pray that during the worship song and during the message that we would just hear what it is that you want to say to us. Amen.
Nothing can tear us from the drip of His mighty love. We've only glimpsed His vast affection, heard whispers of His heart and passion is pouring down. His love is deep, His love is wide, and it covers us. His love is fierce, His love is strong, it is furious. His love is sweet, His love is wide. loves and sends his son. The son lays down his life for. He lavishes his love upon us. He calls us now his sons and daughters. He's reaching out. His love is deep, his love is wide, and it covers us. His love is fierce, his love is strong, it is furious. His love is sweet, his love is wild, and it's waking hearts to life. His love is deep, his love is wide, and it covers us. His love is fierce, his love is strong, it is furious. His love is sweet, his love is wild, and it's waking hearts to life. He's waking hearts to life. He's waking hearts to life. I believe in kingdom come. Then all the colors will bleed into one, bleed into one. Yes, I'm still running. You broke the bonds and loosened chains, carried the cross of my shame, of my shame. No, I believe it. Your love is deep, your love is wide, and it covers us. His love is fierce, his love is strong, it is furious. Your love is sweet, your love is wild, and it's waking hearts to life.
Hey, how you doing today? I wonder if you're feeling a little bit Groundhog Day. A little bit hemmed in, same four walls, same people, same story as we go back into lockdown. Feels like there's maybe not much to look forward to. It's the hardest thing, isn't it? Feeling like life is on hold. We're in limbo. We're just waiting still for the chance to live normal life again, for the chance to be fully free, to do all the things we want to do, the things we dream of, but we don't know. When will we be able to do that stuff? Did you know you have a center in your brain that triggers despair? That awful, suffocating, worst feeling of all when you just can't face doing anything and it all feels too much. And that is triggered when you feel out of control, when you feel like there's nothing you can do to influence what's going on around you or for the people you love. Because it turns out being in control is a basic need that's built into all of our DNA as human beings. And it's why this season is so hard and why despair feels like one of the biggest challenges of this moment. But there's good news. There's another bit of your brain that switches off that despair center, and I want to tell you a bit about it. And there's a really interesting line in a letter that Paul wrote to the Romans in the New Testament of the Bible. And it's Romans 5 verses 4 to 5. And in the Passion Translation it says this: patient endurance will refine our character, and proven character leads us back to hope. And this hope is not a disappointing fantasy, because we can now experience the endless love of God. And if you look at the ancient Greek that Paul wrote here, because he didn't write it in English, literally what the original language says is that being forced to endure or remain under something, live through a difficult situation that we're stuck with, that grows something in us that can trigger the most unexpected of things, hope. And that's really interesting alongside what we know about human psychologists. I'm a psychologist by background. And this bit of your brain that switches off the despair center, it's often called the hope circuit. You can learn to use that bit better. In fact, as a kid, that hope circuit is very rarely used because as children, we're not in control of most of our life. But as you grow, as you get older, particularly through the teenage years, you start to realize, you start to become more independent, more able to control your own life, the world around you, the decisions that you're making. You realize you can influence stuff. And that circuit becomes more powerful, more influential. So your default when you're little is to feel more helpless, but as you grow, you can feel more hope. So in moments when you hit tough stuff, not only can the way you respond to them help you manage in that moment, it can help you grow your ability to find hope to deal with rubbish. I know, it's super annoying, isn't it, when people go on about things being character building, but that's literally what Paul says. Enduring under difficult times helps us to grow, to mature, to get better at managing things in the future, to hold the most powerful defense against despair, hope. And it turns out there's 3 P's that really matter, that you really need to build into your life, that trigger this hope circuit, that switch off despair. So doing more of these in this season helps us manage now better, but also grows our skills for the future. Number 1 is positive emotions. I know in the first lockdown there was loads of stuff about positivity. We're all supposed to be like, yay, all gratitude and cheery. And yeah, that stuff is really good, but let me be clear. Positivity does not mean denying the existence of stuff that's difficult. In order to be positive, to manage things well, you don't have to deny that you are feeling stuff that's tough. Good stuff and tough stuff can exist at the same time. The risk is if you're trying to deny that any of the tough stuff exists, you switch off your whole emotional self, so you just feel flat, nothing. And maybe you manage not to have the tough stuff, but you don't experience the good stuff either. And we need positive emotions to trigger that hope circuit to get through difficult times. There's an ancient Hebrew verse in the Old Testament that says that joy is our strength. And literally the Hebrew word there means it's our fortress, it's our place of protection. It's somewhere we can retreat to in the stormy times, the battle times, the difficult times. The good stuff of life is not just some kind of indulgence, some kind of gratuitous, hedonistic way of living, just pursuing fun for the sake of fun. It's what gets you through the tough stuff, because when the difficult things are in there, you need the good stuff in the mix too. So pursue good things, hound them down. What makes you laugh? What makes you smile? What triggers those little moments of good feeling for you? Chase them down and be those things for other people if you can. Positive emotions really matter. The second P is people. A lot of the positive emotions come from people, and that's because we're designed to need connection with one another. Back in the creation story, when God makes people, the first thing he sees that's not good is that if we're disconnected from other people, you're designed to do life with mates. And in this moment, connecting with your mates has become a lot harder, so we have to think about how to do it. So think about who, think about how, and think about when. Who is simple. Try not to narrow down your connections in lockdown, in this time of challenge, in pandemic life. It's easy to just dwindle our friendship connections down to 1 or 2 key people. But normally life is richer than that. There's people, not just the ones who you're best mates with, but the people who you just see in passing, you just have a laugh with, a bit of banter. You see them in a club or in a moment or just in passing. Are there people you've not really seen or spoken to for more than 6 months? Can you reconnect? Can you broaden those spaces? Can you create some spaces that are more about a bunch of people hanging out online or on WhatsApp or whatever it is? Think about who. Think about how then. Obviously, online stuff is going to be the name of the game for a bit again, but you can go out and meet people one-to-one if you're able to. Maybe do a walk around the park or do some exercise together. That's a good thing to do. But also don't forget old-fashioned stuff like phone calls or texting, writing, even letters, cards. Heck, even a walkie-talkie could be a laugh if you live near enough to someone. Be creative about the how. Sometimes it's good not to have to stare at your own video the whole time you're trying to talk to someone else. And think about when. You know, the main message here, schedule it. So often we say things like, yeah, we must hang out. Let's do that sometime. Yeah, you're never going to do that if you don't make a plan, especially in this moment when it's harder. So schedule it, stick it in the diary, make a date. If you can, make it regular. So that WhatsApp hangout space where a bunch of you get together, why not do that at the same time every day? Like anyone who's around and bored can just join in and hang out. Is there a particular time of the day that you do that? Like after school because you can't hang out together, or after college, or at the weekends, or whenever it is, make it a regular commitment and do it. And then the third P is productivity. This is about just achieving something, feeling like you're getting somewhere with life. And you know what? The risk here is that we think that if we're going to achieve anything, it has to be brilliant. There were so many stories in lockdown that were about amazing stuff people did. And I don't know about you, but I read that stuff and my life feels a bit lame. I don't feel like I'm achieving anything that amazing. Just getting through the days is good. But achievement is another thing that your brain needs. You need to feel like you're getting somewhere. But it doesn't need to be brilliant. Just think about what could you do? What can help you feel less helpless, more in control? Could you tidy something, make something, create something, learn something? Or just turn something you're doing anyway into something measurable so you can feel that sense of achievement. You know, my son, he's just finished 14 days in isolation because a kid in his class tested positive. And we chatted about this. And eventually, do you know what he decided he was going to do to make that moment meaningful and measurable? He decided to have 14 consecutive pajama days. Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of like a project or learning something new or maybe reading a book. But that's what he went for. But actually, you know what? I love it. It took something that he could just have done anyway because he was feeling lazy, and it made it measurable. It made it a moment. It made it fun. So think, productivity, what could you achieve? And don't set your sights too high. Don't push yourself too hard. Normal stuff is good. And finally, let me just end with a last word on hope, because I've talked about a lot of human psychology, and that's good and important. But Paul's letter talks about a bigger, better source of hope that thankfully doesn't rely on human cleverness, because it comes from God. You know, there's so many negative, depressing stories being spoken about this time, about your life, about your generation. Let me tell you, there is a bigger story being spoken over you right now. And it's a story from God. This is not the end of your story. There are better times ahead. So let me finish by just praying over you. This is another verse from the same guy, from Paul. This is Ephesians 1:18. And I pray for you that the light of God will illuminate the eyes of your imagination, flooding you with light until you experience the full revelation of the hope He has called you to.
That was a great word from Dr. Kate. And in the Bible, it makes reference to the fact that God is our refuge and our strength. And all that means is that if we're going through hard times in life, and at the minute with everything changing, I think we all are, we've got a safe place to sort of rest and recuperate and get back on our feet. So we're going to go into another song now. And during that, why don't you write down a few things that you want God's help with?
When the storm clouds rise and the sky is dark and I'm pressed with anxious care,
never been one that feels like I'm hiding under a rock, I'm hiding under my rock. I'll seek, then not hide, I'm too weak to speak in the stillness of prayer. There's no secrets, God already knows my longing, my yearning, my groaning, my burning, my scars and my hurting. It's no surprise to him, it's what your eyes will see it. I'm only falling myself when I conceal it. Apart from grace, I would never seek your sovereign face. Next to you, the only place that keep my heart chaste. Otherwise I'll chase idols to my disgrace and waste time trying to fix I can only break. It's when I'm broken that I'm standing open-handed, reaching out to my Father, knowing you can understand me. In your arms I can safely rest. You're the God who gives life from death.
And not if this is where you stay, still becoming who we are. Ordinary people, extraordinary scars from a million faces, like a million shooting stars. We belong to hold out. Nothing isn't all that far. Hiding your sacred tree, a hiding your sacred tree. When the storm clouds fly till they pass me by, a hiding your sacred tree, a hiding your sacred tree, a hiding your sacred tree. When the storm clouds fly till they pass me by, I'll hide in your sacred tree. Hide in your sacred tree. Hide in your sacred tree. When the storm clouds fly till they pass me by, I'll hide in your sacred tree.
Guys, as ever, thank you so much for joining us. Please like and subscribe, comment down below. We want to know how you found this video. Share it with some friends if you think it will bless them. There was some really good stuff in the talk today that will definitely help some people. And yeah, thanks a lot. I'd like to thank my mum for getting me here, my wife who let me out today. I'd like to thank my dog who's always happy to see me. I'd also like to thank, who else would I like to thank? God. God, probably shouldn't have left God to fourth, but I'd like to thank God, and then also by extension Jesus.
Hey, Rainbow! Oh, I thought you might want to watch a movie.
Heard it's not very good. Why don't we watch Justice League? That's some real superheroes.
Yeah, right.